Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another field strip video. I recently did a range report on this B&T TP9, and I talked about how I actually didn't like it, even though I'm a huge fan of B&T firearms. But there is something about this gun that is really interesting, and that is the field strip procedure and how this gun works mechanically. So I thought it would definitely be worth a field strip video. Plus, I do need to clean this before I get it back to D, who lent it to the channel. So let's do a field strip on this. First thing you're going to do, of course, is drop the magazine. Ensure there is no ammunition in it. Then we will pull the bolt back and we will visually inspect that chamber and ensure this gun is empty. The next thing we're going to do is go to these little tabs in the front of the receiver. We're going to pull down on that. You're going to hear a little snap, and that is the bolt being released and the pressure being taken off of it. And you have to do that in order to take this gun apart. There are two tabs. One is in the front and one is in the back. The first thing you're going to want to do is push that tab in, and you're going to lift up on the receiver, and you can see it has come up just a little bit right there. Next thing you're going to do is come to the front of the gun, and you're going to push this tab in right there, and you should be able to lift up on that upper receiver, and the gun should come apart just like that. There is your lower receiver, and we're done with that, so you can set that aside. The next thing you're going to want to do is to push the whole barrel assembly back. It is held in place by a little pin and under spring tension. So as you can see, I can push that whole assembly back, and once it is back, I can drop it out of the upper receiver. We'll set that aside for just a moment. Here is the upper, and you can just pull out the recoil spring, and the guide rod is captive and it stays in the upper receiver. Now, in order to separate the barrel and the bolt, all you're going to have to do is pull the barrel out of the bolt. That's pretty simple. Now, this is a rotating barrel, and it actually has a cam pin. So in order to get this cam pin out so you can take it off of the muzzle device, you push in on that same tab from the front of the gun, and once it comes to a certain place, you should be able to remove that cam pin. Set that aside, release the tab, and now the barrel will come through the muzzle device through the front. And there you go. That is a complete field strip of the B&T TP9. So let me go ahead and get this gun cleaned up, and let's put it back together. Alright, so we got this gun all cleaned up and ready to go back together. The first thing we're going to do is start with the front of the gun and this muzzle device, and we're going to insert the barrel from the front. It's important to make sure you know which side is the feed lips of the barrel. So we have that here in the back. It's going to be shinier and smaller, and that's going to go through the muzzle device. Now this is really important. You want to make sure that that camming surface and that cam channel faces upward towards the direction where we're going to insert the cam pin. Now on this cam pin, you'll also notice there is a little cutout on the side, and that is going to correspond with the little tab that goes in and out. So you got to get three things all lined up here. So I have found that if you put this on the table and line everything up, so you have that cam channel and the hole, and now the cam pin, this little cutout is going to go towards the left side of the gun, or what would be the left side of the gun, and you can also tell where the little tab is going through the hole. So everything should line up right there. Then you're going to have to push this tab in, and once it gets to a certain point, it will go in. And let's see if we can line everything up, and there it goes. And then you can release the tab, and to double check you've done it right, you want to push the barrel in and out, and it should go on the cam surface, and it looks like I did not put it in all the way. So that's why you want to check. So let me go ahead and push that in even further, and there it goes. And now it is staying in that cam channel. So that's what you want to see, and I always recommend double checking that to make sure it goes in all the way. So that is now solid and put together like it should. Then we're going to take the bolt and we're going to insert the barrel through the lugs, And you want to make sure that this part right here where we have the cam pin is facing up, and you know what the upper part of the bolt looks like because you should be able to read the markings on the side. So that is the complete bolt and barrel assembly put back together. Then we're going to take our recoil spring and we're going to put it back on that guide rod. Then we're going to take our barrel and bolt, make sure everything is facing up like it's supposed to. We're going to make sure that this guide rod goes into the channel in the back of the bolt where it's supposed to go. And we're going to push the barrel assembly forward and up into the receiver. And if everything lines up correct, that little pin which held it in should pop into place when the spring tension is applied. And there it is. So that is what the upper should look like with the bolt and the barrel in it. The next thing we're going to do is take our lower receiver, and if everything is lined up correct, it should slide in. There's a little channel here around the barrel that will line up with these two little metal pillars in the lower receiver, and that will slide in. And as you almost get it back together, you have to go to the rear of the gun and push in that little tab, and everything here should simply lock back into place. Then we will insert the magazine, and of course you want to check for function. There it is, and that is how the TP9 from B&T goes back together. So there you go, a complete field strip and reassembly of the B&T TP9. Definitely different, definitely something interesting if you love the mechanics of firearms. So I hope this video helps somebody in the future. So, as always, thanks for watching.